Josh from Bright Rock Games. I'm the creative director on Galacticare. So we're showing Galacticare. It's a hospital management game set in like a weird and wacky sci-fi universe. You build and manage this hospital, and you get all these weird aliens coming in with these crazy diseases, and you got to solve all their problems and hopefully make sure some of them don't die, maybe most of them don't die, and then everything will work out.
So where did the idea for this game come from?
Sure, yeah. So we knew we wanted to, after our last game, we wanted to stay in kind of a similar genre, hospital management, well, management in general. We like the idea of doing a hospital game, but we also wanted to do a sci-fi game, and it's sort of a natural fit. Like, where do you take hospital games? Into space, weird aliens, weird diseases. It really broadens the horizon, so to speak, with what you can do.
The world, you kind of can make whatever you want up because it's sci-fi jargon.
Exactly, yeah. Like, it's given us so much freedom. Like, with all the aliens that we've got, like, absolutely anything we can do. It's really fantastic, yeah.
Speaking of that, talk about like the things you build in the game and the viruses you'll be combating as a futuristic sci-fi doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we got a bunch of different treatment rooms, like all sorts of crazy things. So, like, one of our rooms, for example, it's called projectile medicine. And what it is your doctor will come and sit in this big cannon, and that'll like unfold. And depending on the disease that the patient has, a different gun will come out. So, like, there's a big flamethrower. There's like an ice laser, and it'll solve their problem in a not so violent way. Well, it's quite violent, but yes. And then from like a diseases standpoint, we got all sorts of crazy things. Like obviously, there's a lot of parasites, right? You got to have that. You can have some patients come in and they've got this flesh-eating bacteria, and you can see through and see their skeleton underneath. Like that's really fun. I've got problems with like people's brains, and you can like see into their brains, and there's like ice coming out, and whatever we can think of, we've been putting in the game, and it's been absolutely great. Like, so much freedom.
It sounds like you lean a lot into humor.
Oh yeah, like it's a very silly game. Like we take a lot of influences from things like Futurama and Rick and Morty. Like the way we've approached this is we want each level to feel like you're sort of inside a cartoon. Like all sorts of like ridiculous situations. So like this level here that we've got in the demo, it's set outside a music festival. So this very irresponsible alien called Leonard Moon has set up this festival, the Burning Moon Festival. And what he does is he gathers all these aliens around this moon, and he sets fire to it, and then has a bunch of musicians come on stage. But it's very unsafe, and a lot of accidents happen. So he thought it would be a good idea to get a hospital to come and deal with all the accidents. And that's what you're here doing, is dealing with all of the fallout from his very irresponsible festival, basically. And all the levels are kind of similar level of crazy in that regard. Like we've got one that's set in a train station. You've got all these trains flying back and forth. There's one level where you're at a farm, and these aliens are growing these giant vegetables, but they've been infested, and you got to go and do healthcare on vegetables and all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah.
So what's the key to making like a good sim game?
Yeah, that's really interesting. You just have to keep playing it, and you have to keep playing it and keep playing it, and tweaking and changing. Like there's a lot of ingredients you got to get into the mix. Like one of the most important things is making sure that the game is effectively talking to the player and like letting them know what's going on. So like getting all the notifications right and how the characters are thinking and getting all that feedback up to the player is super important. So like we got a lot of systems built into the game to support that. So like you can click on any of the characters and you'll see like a bunch of different thoughts as to like what they think is good, what they think is bad, and what you could do to improve. We've got a hospital rating system in there as well, so you can open that up and see, what are the common negative thoughts that are going on in your hospital. And we try and build that into a lot of the in-world things as well. So like each of our different alien species has different what we call species desires. So like we've got an alien race of sort of these plant people, and they like your hospital to have a lot of plants in it. And if you don't have a lot of plants in your hospital, they will be sad. And this will sort of bubble up through the thought bubbles on the character's head and in the hospital rating system. And sort of the idea that we've got there is between all of the different aliens, they all like these different things, but if you sort of fulfill all of their individual sort of species desires, it'll like make your hospital like great overall. And we've tried to build a lot of the sort of the tutorialization, player feedback, and the game talking to you into like the characterization of the game and actual like systems of the game, instead of just being like, here it is, do these things and then it will be good, right? We want to like feed that through a bunch of the different game systems and try and make it feel really organic. Yeah.
So you built the game in Unity. What do they provide in terms of tech and support to help make this game a reality?
Well, they provide the engine, which is very very helpful. We need that. So I mean, obviously, Unity allows us to quite easily ensure that we can make the game support multiple platforms. So we're coming out on Xbox, we're coming out on PlayStation, and obviously on PC. We'll be on Steam Deck as well. And sort of the underlying framework of Unity is what's allowing us to do that. Yeah.
You know what a great system is for sim games, because it's on the go other than Steam Deck, is Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we love Switch. I love Switch. Like, it's something that we do really want to do. It's not what we haven't got planned for release yet, but it is something we're absolutely going to be looking at in the future. Yeah.
So when does your game come out, and what platforms will be out at launch?
Yeah. So we're looking to launch by the end of the year. We're very much a sort of it'll be ready when it's ready team. We don't have a hard deadline. We were working on this long enough. If it takes a bit more time, it takes a bit more time. We're happy with that. And as far as platforms are concerned, it's going to be on PC, on Steam, GOG, and Epic. We'll be on Xbox One, Series S, Series X, and PS5.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the UI. When you're going, sim games work great on keyboard or mouse, but what are some of the challenges when transporting that user interface to a controller?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. I mean, you need to be thinking about it from day one, right? All of the game systems that we built and all the UI panels that we built, we've been building in mind to be able to eventually support controller. I mean, it is a PC first game for us. We're a PC game studio. But we've absolutely been building everything in mind to support console very well. And there are a lot of good management games on console that work really well now. So we've got a lot of good examples to draw from when it comes to how player interaction should work on a gamepad. We're very happy with how the game is working on gamepad for sure.
Are you guys doing the ports yourselves, or are you outsourcing?
Yeah, we're doing the ports ourselves.
Oh wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's again the same with the UI. We knew from the outset we wanted to do that, so a lot of the underlying technical infrastructure of the game has been built to ensure that would work. It's not like, if you take a game on PC that's done and then you try and port it, that's where it's a real lot of work. But we did a lot of the groundwork early on, so it's not so bad. It's all right.
If people want to support your game or maybe get into early access, where would they go to contact you and work with your team?
Absolutely. So you can already wish list the game on Steam and GOG and PlayStation, Xbox. We are going to be on the Steam Next Fest in a couple of weeks as well, so you'll be able to play the demo and have a look at it there. We're not currently planning an early access, but yeah, absolutely. If you join our Discord and let us know, we are doing some community testing as well. So yeah, absolutely, we can get people involved in that for sure.